Now, when you first started setting goals, were you afraid at all? Or did you
Yeah.
set really small goals? Were you a big dreamer out the gate and you said, I don't care if I hit it? What was your mindset around? Because, and the reason why I'm asking is this, is so many people do not set goals. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of reasons for it, but the primary reason why they don't, if you really dig down, is that it's out of fear. It's fear of
Yeah.
failure. It's fear of looking bad. It's fear of, you let people know that you set a goal. Well, now you've got to be held accountable, or all these other things that can happen, how people can view you. So,
Yeah.
how did you arrive at it? What kind of goal did you set in the beginning? And then we'll fast forward to like how that changed you and kind of like what you're doing now.
So, based off my history, my early goals were like not money goals as much as they were number goals. You can keep up this pace.
Okay.
This is how many people you can see a week. This is how many pitches you can go on. This is, and then trying to put an average price on that so that I could get to a number. Like if I do this, if I hit this goal, consistently week by week, I'm going to close 10 to 20% of these. If it's at an average of X, I can get here. I believe in, at this point, I've been doing it for a while. I believe in stepped goals, goals that are achievable, help you build your confidence, see that you're going in the right way. They're closer to you. You can knock them out on the bigger goals. But I'm definitely a dreamer.
So fast forward to now. I mean, you've been
Yeah.
successful, maybe not now, but the last couple of years. Or what? How has goal setting early on and then achieving those goals and gaining that confidence? How has that affected the way you set goals now?
I've seen some goals that shouldn't have been hit in surprising fashion. I've seen some stuff that there's no reason why, I'm first quarter's down, halfway through second quarter. There's no way I'm going to achieve this goal. December 31st hits over into January 1st, and I cannot believe it. I hit the goal. So I've seen that happen enough to kind of keep the faith and say, just keep going in the course. It is frustrating and scary. But I've seen some things happen that I didn't think were going to happen throughout my years that have allowed me to, or, inspired me to um, set bigger goals and see what happens. Set the goals, put the process in place, and see what happens. I had a bunch of goals last year. I probably set 10 goals last year and hit five of them. And, you look at the sheet at the end of the year and you're kind of, I hit this and this, but these didn't hit. But it's like, okay, we'll fold these into the next year. Why didn't you hit them, sort of thing. So, they're great place. They're great markers for where you're at and what you're doing.
So you said it could be scary.
Yeah.
And I know real estate in general, you have your down periods of the year, a lot of it, depending what part of the country you're in, and like I remember myself when I was brand new, like had my first good year, and then it was slow over the winter, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, was that just an anomaly? Did I just get lucky? Is it going to come back? Like, how am I going to do what I did last year? I mean, you're nodding your head like you kind of understand that a little bit.
Yeah, it
How,
still happens.
like, well, it's true. It's true. But you,
Yeah.
once you've done it, like you say, you keep the faith because you've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Um, the first time it happened to you, you're out in the savannah or however, whatever that cool analogy was, right? You're on your
Yeah.
own. The first time you have that kind of blip or dip in production or lead sourcing, do you remember that?
Yeah.
How did that feel, and what did you kind of do to power through that? Because I've actually seen people quit at that point. Like they have a really good year or two or
Yeah.
whatever, then they're like they get panicked, and next thing you know, they got a 9 to 5. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? You were doing so
Yeah.
great. How did
Yeah.
you handle that?
Um, I like it's scary.
Yeah.
You're looking around, bills are due, rent's due, whatever, your mortgage is due. Um, I need to be moving, so I remember I would take long bike rides, funny enough.
Mm.
But during these long bike rides, my body's moving, my heart's going, and I'm able to think through, okay, like you're panicked right now. So you get panicked and you're not able to think clearly. You're in a cloud. So
Mm.
how can we dissipate this cloud and think clearly through a plan? So I would move a lot. I would go on walks or runs and stuff like that and try and think through, okay, this is what you've been doing and it's not working. What are other people doing? What are you seeing right now? And everybody's going to give you processes. You're calling your old, your past clients, you're doing stuff like that. And, all of that stuff comes together. And slowly but surely, you're taking steps forward, and you look back and you're like, oh, okay, I've traveled a decent distance. It's it's like any kind of thing where you're like scared, you need to control your breath, the figurative kind of control your breath and proceed through it. So I was scared. I don't remember exactly all the steps that I took. I just remember that I kept kind of putting one foot in front of the other.